गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू पैसा बोलता है। पैसा बोलता है में आपका फिर से स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। अभी ये न्यूज आया है इन February 2023 किशोर बियानी ऑफर टू रिजाइन एज एग्जीक्यूटिव चेयरमैन एंड डायरेक्टर फ्रॉम फ्यूचर रिटेल, सेइंग दैट ही हैज cooperated with the resolution professional and shared all data, and there is nothing much for him to do. On the 23rd of February, the resolution professional accused Kishore Biyani and his family of illegally siphoning off nearly 14,000 crores from future retail, and that had to be replaced. In fact, he said he would be filing a petition in the court asking the court to direct Biyani to repay this money. Therefore, Biyani's resignation from future retail would be rejected. It was a substantial amount, well in excess of 1,000 crores. And that this money had to be replaced by Kishore Biyani and his family. And therefore, he recommended to the court that his resignation should not be affected. Who is this Biyani? How did he get into this trouble? What was India's biggest retail showroom? How did it go sink? And why and what happened to him? Biyani is actually belongs to a trading community originally from North India. His parents were of course in Bombay, and he was born on the 9th of August 1961 in a middle class trading family in Rajasthan. But his family had then moved on to Bombay. His grandfather was in Rajasthan and they had moved on to Bombay. And it is in Bombay at HR College that he finished his graduation BCom degree. He was not great at studies but was always interested in business. He used to spend most of his time in shops watching what his customers wanted and what they were willing to do. Biyani started to work with his father and brothers and his cousins at Bunny Silk Mills doing fabric trading, and he was frustrated. He wanted to do something bigger. He came up with an idea on apparels, and he saw that most of his friends were wearing stonewashed jeans. Stonewash is a particular type of denim. So he started to manufacture and sell his own brand of clothing fabric, and he called it Menswear Garments. Then it became Manywear Private Limited, and finally he called himself Pantaloon. Pantaloon was a brand name which still exists today. Pantaloon means trousers in Hindi, so he expanded it through a franchisee model. In 1992, he listed Pantaloon, and in 1994 was doing rupees 9 million in revenue. In 1997, he opened a first big store in Calcutta, and he converted it into a 10,000 square feet showroom doing fashion garments with the Pantaloon brand. It was more than twice the size of any other showroom at that point in Kolkata. And within 22 days, he opened 2 more showrooms. In 2001, he started Big Bazaar, which was basically a retail with anything and everything available. If you had gone to a Big Bazaar store, you will know what I am talking about. So that was in the year 2001, and at a point he had more than 100 plus stores in just 6 years in Big Bazaars, and he also had everything in one place, and it was called a hypermarket. In 2012, Pantaloon had 65 stores and 21 factory outlets in 35 cities, and the company had 200 Big Bazaar stores, and this was really big factory. He also had E-Zone and a brand factory and Hometown as other brands. He also started Future General License, and along with the current chief of IDFC First Bank, tried to get into lending business with Future Capital. Of course, Vaidyanathan got wise and took out the money along with a private equity group and Babak Pincus, and separated his own company as First Capital. But since he was expanding so fast and he came himself from a middle class family, he did not have that kind of money, nor could he raise equity like Dhirubhai Ambani. So he had to keep borrowing money, and all this big expansion he had done came in size of massive debt. This debt alone was 8,000 crores, of which the retail business debt was 6,000 crores. In 2012, the bankers pressurized him to sell his stock and reduce debt. So what he did was he sold his majority stake in Pantaloon to a company called Aditya Birla Nuvo, bought by Kumar Mangalam Birla for 1,600 crores. In that 1,600 crores, 800 crores of debt was transferred from the books of Future into Aditya Birla Nuvo. And then, as I said in 2012, he sold his majority stake in Future Capital Holdings NBFC to US based Babak Pincus. This was engineered by the current chief of IDFC First Bank. The debt was reduced to 5,000 crores, but even 5,000 crores was too much for him, and therefore he was getting into severe trouble. And he started having several companies, and he asked Amazon to invest in his company. At one time, it was Big Basket versus Amazon and Flipkart and Reliance Retail. Now, Big Bazaar decided to borrow money from Amazon through a group company called Future Coupons that had lot of conditions, including what is now very famous, that he would not sell his stock to Reliance. In 2016-17, he went back into fashion and he called his brand FPB, Factory and Central. In 2017, Fun Fashion plus Furnishing gave 65% of Future Group revenue. This is what really led to his problem, because he had huge debt and he tried now to increase margins by creating private labels. Private labels are where the brand is owned by Kishore Biyani himself. He had 27 private labels in 64 categories of products, and the idea was that this private label would do a target of 20,000 crores turnover by 2021, and he felt in 2017 that online stores would not compete with him and people would always come to stores. In 2019, he said that he had made the mistake of expanding too fast, too soon, and that he had really missed his bus on online space. Basically, what had happened is he had gone bankrupt. When the COVID pandemic hit, he was forced to close down his stores and he ran out of money to pay debt. He did a deal with Reliance in which all the Big Bazaar real estate would be transferred to Reliance Retail. The banks would be settled and he would be left with the manufacturing business of his private retail. But Amazon, which had invested in Future Coupon, blocked the deal, because if the deal went through, Amazon would have lost all money. So Amazon went to great lengths up to the Supreme Court and blocked this deal. Thus, Kishore Biyani became a non-performing asset and a debtor, and he was forced to lose his company. The moral of the story is this: if you borrow more than what you can service, you will finally get into trouble. If you use leverage to grow beyond a point, then sooner or later you will come to grief. Leverage can do two things. It can magnify your profits or also magnify your losses, as he found out. Thank you for watching पैसा बोलता है। पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। मैं सिंगापुर आ रहा हूँ 29 अप्रैल। सिंगापुर में हॉलिडे इन में एक इवेंट है। बहुत सारे हॉलिडे इन हैं सिंगापुर में। मेरा इवेंट हॉलिडे इन एट्रियम ANIHG होटल में है और उसका नंबर 317 आउटरैम रोड सिंगापुर 169075। Once again I tell you the address in English. It is 317 Outram Road, Singapore 169075, and the name of the hotel is Holiday Inn Atrium. I will see you in Singapore. Thank you for supporting Paisa Bolta hai.